I was 23 years old. All I wanted was a MacBook Air because I was at the time a fashion blogger and beauty blogger, and for me to be, is an established blogger and to feel enough, having a MacBook Air was like the best thing in this world. So of course I didn't have the money to buy one, but I used a little trick that I'm gonna teach you in this video and bought my MacBook Air in a couple of months and paid it in full. And remember, I was still a student back then, so it can be possible. How I did it? Well, watch and I'll tell you. Hello, I'm Roswitha from roswithaherman.com, and each week I help women just like you be successful in every area of their lives. In order to learn how to budget and save money, you need a little things. First, a clear goal. So I cannot stress this enough, how important it is to be clear on what you want and have goals put in place. Because of this, I've also created a free training workshop. At the end of the video, you can see it, or just go to roswithaherman.com/freebies and you can sign up for it completely for free to help you plan your next 6 months and figure out your goals. Because most people do it wrong. They either set too many goals in a small amount of time, or their goals are not realistic enough, so they get disappointed, or they just get overwhelmed and tired and they never want to pursue a goal in the future. So this is like the first step and it's super important. So please, after you watch this, go get that freebie and start planning your next 6 months and set good goals. So what product or service do you really want the most? What makes you feel like if you would have it, you would be like the happiest or the wealthiest or the most fulfilled person in the world? What is it exactly? What do you want to have right now that would give you a big sense of satisfaction, of feeling enough, of feeling powerful or exceptional or whatever? If you have more things that you want to purchase, but they have like they're not very expensive, like let's say $200 range, then it's okay to pursue 2 or 3 goals at a time. However, if you want something bigger, like I wanted a MacBook Air, which is like $1,000 value or more, then my advice would be only focus on one thing at a time. So only focus to save money and budget for one big goal at a time. Otherwise, you're gonna feel like quitting because it's too hard to maintain your high energy and enthusiasm for too long or spread in too many places. The second thing you need is a beautiful mason jar. The bigger, the better. The third thing you need is to write on that jar or just stick a sticker on it, the goal, the amount of money you're about to spend or you're willing to spend in order for that goal to, be a reality for you, and maybe something cute or colorful or a mantra, whatever would help you out. So in my case, I wrote, MacBook Air and also the amount of money I was wanting to spend on it. So I didn't want to spend too much, so I had a really clear goal. I want to spend, let's say, $800 or $1,000. Okay, I would put that number there. And the fourth thing is to decide how much you want to put down the first. So what's your first down payment? This is super important. You want to start budgeting and saving for your goal with a big bill. In my case, I used the 100 bill and I put it, because the mason jar is transparent so you can see the bill. So I put it so I can see it. Why? Because if every time you look, because I put my jar on my desk so I could see it every single day, not at work, at home. So every time I would see that jar, I would see the goal, the number, and the $100 bill, and it made me feel rich. It made me feel like, oh my god, I only have a couple of those to add and my goal is gonna be, here. I'm gonna have my MacBook Air. If you only add $1, then every time you will be looking at your jar, you'll feel like, oh freaking God, I still have like $1,000 to add to it, it's never gonna happen, oh my God, I don't think I can do it, it's pointless, I maybe not do it, I'm just gonna stop. So see, that's why. So decide on the bill that you want to start with. It can be $50, $100, whatever it is, or in a different currency. But please put a big down payment, because it will give you the power and the enthusiasm to carry on and keep building your jar with money for your goal. 5, and here is where the magic happens. So you have 2 options from now on how you're gonna save and budget. The first option is to put in your jar 10% of every single thing you made. So as you get your paycheck, 10% goes to your goal. If you receive money from your parents, 10% of that goes to your goal. If anybody gives you money, 10% of that goes to your goal. If you have other income streams, 10% of that goes to your goal. So this is the first option that you can start budgeting and saving for your goal. The second option is each day check your wallet for change or small bills. And every single night, put all your small bills and your change in the jar. So of course, this option only works if you use cash on a daily basis. If you don't, if you only use credit cards, then this option is definitely not gonna work for you. So I personally used both methods depending on time and depending on what we needed. But when I bought my MacBook Air, I used the first option. And usually the second options we use just to have a jar full of money at home. So every time we look in our pocket, we just see like a dollar bill or like change, like $2 or whatever change we have, we just dump it in our jars. We have a couple of jars for different things, like going out for dinner or a small trip or something like that, or buying clothes. Like we just have our small jars, and you won't believe how much money you can save by doing this little thing that you think is so insignificant. Like we even invested, we even have a jar for investing, and we end up having like $100 in like 2 months in a jar with extra change that we just put it every single time there. So it's really, really working. And if you want more tips and tricks on how to budget your whole budget and how to think about money, please see my other video with the 50-30-20 rule of money and how to apply it on your own finances. That's gonna be another great training for you if money is something you're interested in knowing more about. I promise this trick works. But as always, nothing works unless you do. At first, it will seem painful, but keep in mind that whatever you're wishing for, whatever goal you have in mind, it will be worth it. So even though you feel like, oh my God, I don't want to put 10% down, or oh my God, it's never gonna happen, oh my God, I have so much money to add and I don't know when that's gonna happen, just keep going, keep pushing, because at the end, you will be able to pay for the thing that you want, and it will all be worth it, I promise. As always, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. I'm on a mission and I won't stop. No destination, but it's worth a shot. You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go. Run wild. I'm on a mission and I won't stop. No destination. Did you like this video? Is this trick helping you in any way? What goal do you wanna set? So what's the next big thing you want to purchase or service you want to purchase and you want to start saving for? Please leave me a comment below, because I'm super, super curious to know. And share it with somebody who might need to save and budget to get something cool for them, or buy a service that will definitely help their life. Thank you so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see you next week. Bye!